Good morning, everyone. It's Crypto Meow Analysis coming at you with a update video on Bitcoin. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be diving into the Bitcoin daily chart, and things have shifted in the good. You know, we've been monitoring this for a couple weeks now, and last time we got stuck at this area of resistance, we came all the way back down, almost retested this support, and then we got a nice V-shaped recovery bounce almost immediately. And now we are over our critical area of resistance at 91,300. So as long as we close over this area, then we can start looking at the targets on the upside. But basically, yeah, let's get right into it. So starting with the EMAs, we can see that Bitcoin has bounced from the lower demand zone, the purple supply block around 83 to 91,000, which is what we've been monitoring since November, when when price actions first started coming into this box. Now, the price is trading around 92,400 right now, which is a decent recovery from the recent wick down. The EMA ribbons is still fully built bearish on the daily though. So I do have to emphasize that. All the faster EMAs remain below the slower ones, and the entire ribbon is fanning downward, which historically signals continuation unless price manages to reclaim it quickly. The bounce is good, but it's not enough yet. So just please keep that in mind. I wish I could say to the moon, but technically right now we are only over the 20-day moving average on the daily. So the current mid zone, this is where Bitcoin is sitting right now, is at between 91.3 and 92,000. The immediate resistance is the 100K EMA clusters. The EMAs from the 20 to the 100 are stacked. Well, not 20, but it would be 50, 100, and 200 are stacked between 90,000 and 107,000. So it creates a hard resistance overhead. So we do have a lot of area of resistance to cover. So the critical support, like we've been saying for the last couple weeks, is 83,600. I don't think that this will hold if we come down one more time. Obviously, the next lower low is 70,000, which is personally where I'm going to be buying my next $200 worth of Bitcoin. The macro support is at 70,000, which we just stated. Now the RSI, the RSI has pushed up from the low 30s into the mid 40s. That's a positive sign. Momentum is shifting upwards. You can see it based on the chart too. We didn't quite hit oversold, but we did hit 30. So we were technically oversold. And the last time this was the case was back here. Technically, we were extremely oversold here, but in February. And what happened is you created a bullish divergence, made a lower low, made a higher low on the RSI, and then you started going up from here. Now, I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen, but maybe on the macro time frame, something like that does happen where you come up, get stuck at resistance, come down, make a lower low, but the RSI makes a higher low. But that's just one scenario out of many. So basically, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But on the short term, it bounced. Clearly, we can see, but the long term, it's unfortunately undetermined. So compared to the previous chart that we did, so based on our last video, the wick into support shows strong buying interest. The price has recovered to the top of the purple zone, and the RSI has turned upward, and momentum has stabilized. But unfortunately, the EMAs are still bearish. Price is still beneath all moving averages. No higher lows or higher highs have formed yet, and no reclaim of the ribbon with the exception of the 20 days of the 20-day moving average, which leaves us in what I'd call a neutral danger zone. We really don't know. We really need to stay over 91.3 though, and as long as that happens, then we can start looking at the targets on the upside. So the bullish case scenario is that if we stay over 91.3, which we're still determining that right now, the next area of resistance and the next zone that you're probably going to experience selling is 95,000, and then the next target is the 106,000. Following the EMA clusters around 100 and 107,000, but we're not gonna range it out that much yet until we get to 95,000. Breaking that region flips the entire trend structure. So the neutral case scenario is sideways chop. We could see Bitcoin inside the purple zone land between 91 and 83, potentially forming a accumulation zone, or even a bear flag before we break down. So we don't want to see that. We do want to see a continuation up. In the bearish case scenarios, we come all the way back down, or we get stuck at 95 and we come all the way back down and break 83,000, which does put us at 70,000. But once this breaks, I do think that we should get a big move back up to 106, which would be insane, because that would signify, and if we break over 106, that would signify that we're still in a macro uptrend, which would be, again, absolutely insane given that we came this low and had such a strong recovery. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my update. Clearly, you can see that I still have my 0.002 Bitcoin. So far, my return on my 0.002 Bitcoin is $6.77. That is because I did buy during the time that the RSI was extremely oversold. So I did catch a bottom, and that's why I think the next time, and it's going to take weeks, it's going to take months probably, but the next time I'm going to buy is going to be when we're either sitting at 70,000 or I see the RSI extremely oversold, kind of like where we were at back here in February 2025 and November 2025. So clearly, based on my strategy, I would have bought February, and then I would have had to wait all the way to November to buy. So technically I bought in November, so I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe it takes 8 months, but I will wait and be patient until the RSI hits oversold again on the daily, and monitor the weekly RSI, so that I can basically buy more Bitcoin at the lows. But that's pretty much it. So in summary, Bitcoin has shown signs of strength, but not yet signs of trend reversal. The bounce was solid, but we unfortunately didn't reclaim the daily EMA ribbons, and the broader structure still leans bearish, unfortunately. A daily close above 92,000 is one step, bullish, one step to the right side, but a push towards the EMA cluster as at 100K would signify strong bullish recovery. So let me know if you think Bitcoin is gearing up for a recovery, or if this bounce is just a setup for the next leg down. Thank you so much for watching. As always, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion. And I'll see you in the next one. And I hope everybody has a great day.